Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by EB. A reminder, as always, that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets, guys. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a phenomenal weekend doing whatever you needed to do to get away from the charts. Or maybe not, right? Like maybe you were like me, you just sat by your computer for most of the weekend. Maybe you were like Jackus, you got outside, you were a bit more productive. But either way, guys, whatever you needed to do to relax and unwind, because we are right back into the thick of things today on Monday, June 10th. Welcome, guys. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, Jackus, and the Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I hope the panel all had a fantastic weekend as well, and I'm sure that they are very eager to begin cooking for you all today. But before we can do that, before we can start sharing that big, juicy alpha, and I always say Mondays and Tuesdays to a lesser extent, but Mondays are often the best show because, you get basically everybody on the team has just been simmering in, their collective thoughts for the last few days. So everybody wants to cook on Mondays. Everybody wants to cook on Mondays. If you guys want that big, juicy alpha, make sure to smash that like button before we get started. I haven't set a target or anything, but maybe some guys are feeling generous today. Maybe they want to cook. I don't know. It's like I said, though, I'm sure everybody's got some stuff that they've been stirring on over the weekend. So if you can smash that like button for us before we get started, I know it would mean a lot to all of us, of course, as well as the channel's growth. But let's get into the markets. I can only waffle about the like button for so long before you all start to come for my head. But Bitcoin is still, and we said this, the back half of last week, Bitcoin is still just sitting at this inflection point right near 70K. We are now back below it after what happened on Friday, right? We saw quite a candle on, I wouldn't even say it was quite a candle on Bitcoin. It was maybe $2,500 on Bitcoin lower. But what we really saw was the complete incineration of local leverage on all altcoins, right? Like Pepe, Solana, ETH, everything. And a lot of these, basically everything that wasn't a major had, a minus 20, minus 30% wick, showed tremendous weakness throughout the weekend. Bitcoin started to perk up a little bit more on Sunday. Still TBD if we're going to immediately reverse it, if that was the low. I'm sure those are things that we're going to discuss. And I think, when you look at the context of Bitcoin sitting here at, what looks to be a higher low, especially in context with, what happened on Friday as well as today with the dollar, right? You had the dollar Chad higher on Friday, Chad higher on macro data. Is that a scam candle or not? I'm sure that's something that we're going to debate on this show. Either way, guys, I have to imagine this inflection point for Bitcoin is going to be very heavily correlated to what the dollar does early on this week. If the dollar is going to keep ripping, the possibility for lower prices on Bitcoin is definitely still present. But if the dollar is going to kind of stop this move near these levels, well, Bitcoin will probably be one of the first risk assets to begin to realize, the tailwinds of that, right? But speaking of risk assets, Nvidia actually split its stock today. It kind of threw me for a loop this morning, seeing Nvidia at $120. I was like, wait, did Jensen did Jensen sell his entire stack of Nvidia, man? But fear not, Nvidia has split its stock. You can once again gain your generational entry into Nvidia if that is something that you want, right? Like $100, $100 Nvidia stock.
Nvidia 2000 again.
Something that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted in 2022. Now everybody wants $100 Nvidia stock in 2024. I got mixed up on what year I thought it was for some reason, but we got a lot of people here to cook. I'm sure they've got some great thoughts. I won't go on too much longer. Echoing again, I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I think this is going to be a really interesting week for all markets. I'm very much looking forward to it. Lots of macro data on the way as well. What are we seeing in the markets this week, guys?
I had something to bring up real quick.
Big week.
How many bears do you think were coping because Nvidia split their stock?
I see it. This is what an opportunity to buy a $100 share of Nvidia again. You know what I mean? Like you get to now buy Nvidia for 11, for I mean, it's basically the equivalent of buying it at $11 now. I mean, that's how a stock split works, is that you just get it for cheaper. So, I mean, we can ride this up to 1,000 now together. You get a second chance to ride this to 1,000.
10,000 Nvidia is what that
No.
is.
Tucker, they did a
10K.
stock split, so that means that you get to buy it 90% off, and then you just get to ride it up to the same price it was before again. So,
Oh wow,
yeah, I know it's hard to follow,
manipulation.
but yeah,
that
that's how
sounds like
stock
Gen
works.
Wealth. Yeah,
It's like when a Bitcoin halving happens too. You get to buy Bitcoin for half of the amount of money. It's halving, so it's the same concept. Yeah, I know it's hard to follow, but yeah,
it is. Yeah, man. Well, it still looks good. It still looks good. I'll tell you what.
Hold on, we're not screaming manipulation.
Equity still look great. Look at that. Who could have foreseen? Who could have foreseen? Wow. Didn't take any calls, but
I mean, bro, here's the thing. Like, we have a jam-packed week. We got some economic data that's going to be a little bit of an overhang. So I'm of the opinion that we'll maybe move a little bit, but this week, for the most part, at least the first half, up until FOMC and CPI, I'm of the belief that we're probably just going to kind of chop and range, and it's going to be a little bit annoying. I don't really want us to pump too hard into FOMC on Wednesday, and I don't really want us to nuke. I'd actually kind of prefer for us to just hang out here, and let Jerome Powell do his thing. But that's how I feel, is like, I don't see why we would kind of deviate from that pretty typical path of just not doing a whole lot until we hear from the chairman himself.
Well,
Dated. Who is Data Dash? I don't even remember.
He's like that YouTube guy that always I guess he's been wrong for like 2 years consecutively, but I don't like to put too much weight into counter trades and never fades, because eventually people are wrong, and even a blind squirrel finds a nut eventually, right?
But bro, like if you got a 90% miss rate,
bro. That's
like I know his miss rate is particularly bad. I'm kind of making like more of a broad point on being too strict on like your counter trades and stuff.
I have one counter fade.
Yeah.
Well, I have one fade. I will not say who it is. This motherfucker does not miss. You guys know who he is. I know Tommy and Tucker, you both do.
They have an N in their
I
name.
will not make it public. This is the best signal in the entire market. I would say that he probably is wrong 8.5 out of 10 times.
Do they have
he's right? And when he's right, it's like, there's no way you thought that was going to happen. You got bailed out. Like, it's never according to his plan. I think he's on drugs. I don't understand it. But this dude, yeah, you guys know when he tweets, I get excited. Like, when he tweets like a really like ridiculous chart, I'm like, this is the best content ever. Like, I swear, I only shared him recently with Tommy and Tucker, maybe like a few months ago. I found this dude like a year ago. He literally cannot figure it out. And I refuse to say who he is because there's that much alpha in it. I can't.
Max, you're avoiding my question.
Yeah.
Does he have an N in his name?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the same.
Like the letters in?
Yeah, N is a Nancy.
There is an N in his name.
I knew it.
No, but hang on. That's like,
that's not like the first letter.
No, that's not. It's just like, how many names have I mean, that could be like, I don't know who you're. If you text me and you guess it, I'll confirm, but I'm not gonna say who it is. But that's like, besides that,
I know who he's gonna guess. He's not gonna guess it right.
He's not gonna guess it. No one knows who this guy is.
That's all
I'm telling you, nobody knows who this guy is. Like, nobody knows who he is. You'd have no reason to ever interact with him. I stumbled across him like before I even like built a platform, and I was just like, this is unbelievable. This guy cannot figure it out. What's that?
We're pumping.
You mean he can't miss, Max? He just misses to the wrong side.
There is way more alpha in finding a really good fade than there is somebody who's like really dialed into the market. I'm telling you right now.
Mhm.
That's
I
true.
might argue with you on that last point, but I definitely agree with the value of having a good counter signal, because I feel like I've kind of found one over the last few weeks, and I genuinely can't even believe like it's a real person. I refuse to believe it's a real person. The entire account feels like a parody. They're literally the worst futures trader I have ever seen on
The
CT.
worst.
No lies.
My God, we are pumping, boys.
Look,
Wow.
Tucker, we're not gonna hold this shit, bro. It's FOMC week.
No, I would like
You need to
though.
believe, Max.
Would you
Yeah.
guys really feel okay with us pumping to like 72K into FOMC? Because I'd be nervous if we did that.
I would love
I'd be
that.
happy.
I would love that. I would love if we are at like 73, 74K by the time FOMC comes, because I think it will only cause a further upside.
yeah, I would think so too. I think if you're pumping into it and you're pumping while it's talking,
I feel like that's
You're
cherry
probably gonna
picking,
pump
guys.
harder.
When does that ever? When do you get the luxury of like shorting a nuke into FOMC or longing a pump into FOMC? Like that's not real. That's never
it
been
all
the
depends.
case.
It depends on if the person with the end of their name tweets something negative or not.
I just want to be clear. Like, there's so many people out there that have an N in their name. Like, don't everybody start thinking I'm calling other people fades. Like, I promise you guys don't know who this guy is.
No, look, I don't need to know who it is. I know the person with the end of their name that I know, and all I got to do is counter trade them.
Bro, everyone knows that guy. Okay, everyone knows who you're thinking of. All right, that's out there. All right, that's out there. My guy, Will, this is a secret weapon. I'll talk to you off camera, man. This guy's literally a weapon. Like,
He is.
Is the N being fifth of his first name?
I don't know what.
Yes.
Just text me. Just text me.
Yes, Jackus.
Just text.
Is
me.
it him, right, Tucker? You get it.
Is it the fifth letter?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but there's two N's in the
I'll
first
tell
name.
you guys off camera. But Tucker, would you agree with this? This guy's in the top 1% of fade accounts out there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
He's fucking good, man.
Yeah, he's
so
great.
He's amazing.
And his conviction, man. Like when he doesn't like quickly type it out. It's like really thoughtful posts, you know. It's like
I love the people who like write like the most articulate posts and are just completely wrong every time. And their name starts with an N.
I can't believe this happened, dude. I can't believe it.
why can you not believe that happened?
Because Tommy liquidated me, bro.
Oh, you got
Oh yeah, big time.
Tommy
Yeah.
gave you the trade knowing
Tommy
where the
said,
stop
"Oh
was?
yeah, we're going up right here." I was like, "Oh okay, I'll be cool down here."
Study
You
getting
think
liquidated
Tommy
on a
knew
500
that,
point
and then he
Yeah, Tommy for sure pushed it down there, and then
I bet he
ripped it.
pushed it down there and he filled
Yeah.
a bid at like 69.2 just because
Yes,
you got
bro,
liquidated.
and then he just ripped it.
Classic Tommy.
Not to mention, Tommy also told him to go net worth in. So
Net worth what?
all in on the long position.
Yeah. 75x full port.
Full port.
You
Yeah.
said 50. You asked what direction.
No, I
thought
said
the
50, and then
1,000
I was
point
like,
move would be.
I know, I was like,
Then you told
all
me you
right.
got liquidated on a 500 point move.
No, it was like 750 points, Tommy. It was a good bit. It was a good bit.
Tucker just started his new account today. $300.
Yeah, it's completely over, guys. I just got wiped. Completely wiped on a Sunday night on high leverage. Yeah. I don't know, bro. This looks good though. Why doesn't this look like 25K? I can't unsee it. I can't
does.
unsee it.
They've
Are
been
you
doing the
talking
same
like
thing
we'll
every
just
higher low,
this.
man.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Like
Yeah,
we'll-
you
we'll
do.
slowly kind of like curl that back up,
Yeah.
like what Caspa just did, basically. That fractal.
Like,
Yeah.
where's 25? Yeah, this.
To the right though. Yeah, that right there. I could see that.
Like this.
Yeah. I mean,
see
I
it.
could see that. I could see that.
This wick. This is like maybe this is like the Bybit wick that like went down here,
Yeah.
you know, and then we just had this box.
I mean, I could see that.
That's good TA, guys. You can't beat that level of TA right there. Look at that. Clean.
I don't.
And even this little, like, I don't know, one of these. And now you're probably like right here, and you're gonna just like do that. High or low. There it is. That's the formula, boys, right there. This is the
Yeah,
bit.
I don't know. All this talk about, like, you know, going back to the 40s and stuff that I've seen some people waffling about. I'm looking at the chart, and like from a technical structural perspective, I don't see a case to be made for something like that happening. Additionally, from like a higher time frame backdrop perspective, we still just had a Bitcoin halving. We're right on track with really what always seems to happen. And on top of that, we still have at least 3-4 months until the Fed intervenes and we get any, you know, effective federal funds rate, interest rate adjustments here in the US, which would sometimes historically imply they're intervening for a reason, but there's not a reason right now. So I'm like, why would there be some, like, you know, cataclysmic event to cause the biggest Bitcoin pullback that we've had in the past 2 years? You know, why would that happen here when structurally too, like maybe Tucker, you could zoom out a little bit, just on the Bitcoin, like where we're at right now. I don't see why this looks bad to people. Like this, we're sitting right now reaccumulating, holding above last cycle's all-time high. Like I feel like the clock is ticking for, you know, for higher. I'm not saying we're going to teleport to 150K, but I'm just like, I don't see why there's this like perceived weight on the market right now. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
You want the alpha?
I think Friday's fast move on the dollar really psyoped people into believing that the dollar is actually strong when it's not. Never believe a fast move into resistance, man. That's I think that's a quote by SZ. At least he said it before. I think a lot of people, just because of how ferocious the candle was on the dollar on Friday, you know, I don't even know what the macro data was, but I do know usually you fade those quick moves into resistance like that, especially at a level we were all kind of expecting the dollar to break down. I think the people who are bearish believe the dollar is probably going to go a good bit higher over the next few weeks. And the people who are bullish obviously believe the dollar is going to be breaking down from here. I think that's really why opinion has been so divided over the last few days, specifically that dollar candle on Friday, which I just want to go out on a limb and say I think that the dollar's move is effectively over. Maybe a little bit higher today and tomorrow, but I don't think it's going much higher than here.
So you don't see like a 107 retest kind of thing? Because I've seen a lot of people looking for like a deviation up there or something like that.
No, I don't.
Does that even matter though? I don't think it matters. I think you're just retesting the range high.
No, but this is what. Yeah, I agree. This is what I was saying though. I was like, this is what I was saying 2 weeks ago. If other countries are cutting and we're not, that's not good for our risk assets. Like I don't think it'll continue to play out. Like I think we'll get to cutting and whatever, it'll be fine. But like if we have a bunch of other countries cutting and we're not, that's positive for the dollar.
The alpha here, all right. The alpha. If you can go back to BTC real quick, Tucker. Just draw a Fibonacci from 2017's range high to range low.
This one.
Just draw a Fib from 2017. High to low. Highest high to lowest low.
Wait, okay. So what? From here
Fibonacci
to
where? From high to low, right there.
To the bear market low?
Yep, bear market low. Where's our 1618? Where's our price action we're at right now?
Yeah, where are the golden pocket boys at?
Where did we bounce off of? What do we bounce off of on this high where we're at right now?
Golden pocket boys, stand up.
What are we
Oh my
using?
god, that happened again, bro. That literally happened again.
Turbulent,
oh
if you post the same comment in the comment section again, you're going to get banned, brother. It's the fifth time, for the fourth time.
Someone waffling. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We
Look
got
at this. Study the bounce
study that.
from the golden. That's the golden
No,
pocket.
100%. But what are we
Dude,
using as support?
golden pocket boys are like literally in shambles when it comes to Bitcoin on the high time frame, man. Like
Yeah.
they just in
What
shambles.
are we using as support right now, Tucker? What are we using as support for the cycle? What are we bouncing?
We're using like a weekly, a 2-week close, and the 1618 all. At
No,
the
no,
same-
You're
I'm
using
saying
no,
like,
Will. You're using last cycle's 1.618.
yeah.
I'm saying this. Yes,
Yeah.
precisely. That's what I wanted to
A
point
plus
out.
for max. I got the pop quiz.
You wicked below it, but you used it as support. Look at how perfectly you retouched that 1618. You wicked below to fear out all your bears who are now broke and living on the street corner, basically saying $20 is $20, and now you've got price action moving in the opposite direction. You formed a new range. That's what you've done here.
Look at the golden pocket bounce though, Will. Look at that. Look at this. Look at it. That's so clean.
Yeah, every time.
Unbelievable.
Every single time. And this goes to point out that we are more in the cycle of only being in the mid market, because that was right before the mid market. Point out the mid market there, Tucker. Right there, right where you were. No, previous high.
This
From 17. Yes. Go ahead and draw your line across. Draw your line across the current high. It's already there. It's on the 1618.
yeah.
So now you're going where? Only up. Like everybody needs to just understand.
Wait, only up or up only, Will? That was
Only up forever.
Only up.
Okay.
Will's redoing it.
Only up forever.
Up only? No, it's only up.
The point being here is like it's not as hard to read as people think it is. It's really not. This is a 2017 freaking. Oh my god!
Will.
Fibonacci, bro.
Hang on, Will.
From 8 years ago.
There's something that you seem to have overlooked here. Okay, I was told 44K imminently. I was told that. Okay, so what you're telling me is that we're not going to 44K, because I was told that by many people with huge followings on Twitter that 44K is coming soon.
No, I mean here's the thing. I saw people post 30K and they had an N in their name. All right, they were posting 30K Bitcoin. I said, stop smoking meth. I was like,
Did you say that?
Hanging on the wrong
Did you tell
corners.
them to stop? Did you tell them to stop doing that?
Yeah, I told them just like break the pipe, get away from it, and be done with it. There's no reason to smoke meth. All right, go see a dentist, get your teeth fixed. Let's get this market moving.
There truly isn't any reason to think 44K right now. That's just wishful thinking.
I think there is just like this complex. I forgot who was talking about this, but like basically talking about how the Big Short psyoped so many people. It was Good Alexander, if you guys know who that is. He's a great follower on Twitter. He was talking about how the Big Short psyoped an entire generation of young people to believe that the best to prove that the system is a scam is by trying to short it and by trying to like loudly predict that it's over, when if you really believe it's a scam to the degree that you say, the real way to exploit it is to just get balls long until you can't be anymore. And so I really think the people who are calling for 44K at this juncture, like the macro picture, what could possibly favor that, right? Like it's a huge move. Sorry, my cat's like messing with my foot, but no, the macro picture, the best that I could possibly do to come up with a theory like that is like the dollar chads and rate cuts cause, uncertainty in the markets. But even then, I feel like that's just kind of a reach, and to just loudly articulate that you're that bearish. We went through the same conversation when Don Alt was calling for meme coin capitulation like 2 weeks ago. It is I don't know, man. It's just I don't really get it either.
being a bear is a tough way to make a living, man. It's a tough way to make a living. There's a time and a place for it. But what you said, Tommy, is true. The winning strategy has been and will most likely continue to be get long as hell and just hang on to those positions until something comes up and it's not appropriate anymore. Because
Max.
everybody thinking they're going to call like these tops, every month, and there's some new like crisis, on the brink. God, that chart looks good, bro. That looks so good.
It does. Look at that. I mean, what are we talking about?
Here's the thing.
Dude, real quick. Here's the thing. I was actually going to make a video on this at some point this week. You're not going to sell the top of something, right? Like that literally is a meme. Like you could probably get close, but that's a meme. If you sell the Pico top, you're better. You're more lucky than you are good. Now, one really effective strategy is just identifying when you're in a complacency shoulder. Okay. The winning strategy is holding on a little bit longer than you need and being like, oh, we're bouncing and this is most likely a high time frame complacency shoulder. I'm going to get out, and go look at 2017, Tucker. Yeah. Like that, right? Like that. Oh, I rode the whole thing and we're in a complacency shoulder. I'm going to de-risk in the shoulder, right? Go back to 2017 as well. Like
not even
you always
that.
get a complacency shoulder. That's just learn to recognize when you're in the complacency shoulder because you always get one.
Well,
right?
it's not just the shoulder. You get the lower low. And a lot of people ignore point out the lows there. You get the lower low on both of those scenarios, right there to there.
Well, yeah,
right?
but like that's a lot of drop to eat, right? Like you'd want
No,
to.
I'm saying like all the signals were there that you were going to go a lot deeper.
You get this and then that, it's over.
And right? No, but like even
what?
We're gonna do this real quick.
I see.
And
then you got the lower low and then the lower high. You should be out because it's over.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, to what Max was saying, I didn't want to jump in there, but there is a reason. Like too many people overcomplicate this, but there is a reason why a long position is called long, because you stay long in the position, like a long time. And there is a reason why short position is called short, because you stay short in that position for a short period of time. Like you stay bearish for a short period of time. Like I suppose lots of people always wonder why those two are like that, but it's due to the nature of the charts, because you stay long for a long period of time. It's not like saying buy and sell. It's a long and short. All right. So long, you stay long in that. I do not know how many times I need to say it, so it's clear.
Let me see the chart there, Tucker. All right.
All right. One sec. Look at this. I mean, just downtrend, uptrend, right? Like correct it. Just a correction. What are we talking about? Like, yeah, I got you, Will. I got you.
All right. So yes, you're right. You don't want to eat the downside, but there was plenty of signal that you were going to get absolutely obliterated here, right? You had double downtrend. You had the downtrending lows, and then you had the downtrending highs, right? And a lot of people were like, oh, this is going to turn into a breakout position. No, it was never going to do that, because you didn't just do it here, you did it here. And everybody was saying 30K was going to hold, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 30K is going to hold 4 times at the low. The more times you test resistance or support, it becomes weaker. It just is what it is. And a lot of people forget the fundamentals when it comes to chart analysis, right? You not only had signal that you were going to break your 30K, you had deteriorating strength following that same support. All the signs were here that you were going to get obliterated here, but everybody wanted to deny it. I know a ton of people that, like, I was literally just like chilling in cash. I was like, you guys are going to get fucked. I told people that. They were like, oh, you're just Debbie Downer. There's still a little more. They were saying there's a little more left in the market on the complacency shoulder here on this move. And I was like, your little more is going to just make you eat a lot more downside because you're being greedy. You're not willing to exit your positions. And that's a lot of that ends up being people that buy up here, right? They buy up here, they get trapped, and then they're like, oh, I'm just going to hold it. Yeah, you're going to hold it for a lot more downside. The reality is that once you start forming the trend, it becomes more obvious when you start doing this, right? Look at the range up here. We have nothing like that up here. We have nothing like that up here. The trend becomes more obvious when you had this kind of consolidation range, touch, 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 break. Again, it just more retest of the low. You had the same thing here. Look. Boom, look at that, huh? Same exact thing as right here. Right here. Same thing. Touch, 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 break. Can't make it more obvious for people. I know a lot of people act like this is something hard to understand. It was literally the same thing, just a bigger range. It was the same thing, bigger range.
It was.
Oh, go ahead.
It was. I was pointing to that out live when we were having that breakdown sub 30K. I was referencing that this breakdown of well, it was like 29K, but you get it right. 30K sounds better. The breakdown of 30K was basically like a breakdown of 6K. And then we had like one final breakdown due to the FTX deviation, but that would never happen had it not been for FTX. So basically, exactly as you said, Will.
You have to know when you're in a bull run and when you're in a bear market, right? A bull run, as long as you're holding trend, you're good. Holding trend continues up. Holding trend, where's it going to go? Guess what? It's going to continue up. Right? And the first time you get a failed shoulder, it's cooked. It's cooked. Look at this. Boom, failed shoulder. Not only do you get it there, boom, you get a failed shoulder here, and that's at a higher high. That's an indication to get the hell out. You got a second exit. That's what that's telling you. It's like you're getting a second chance on life here, and nobody wants to take it. Everybody's like, well, altcoins will pump a little higher, a little higher. When you start thinking like that, when you start thinking like a little higher, that's when shit's cooked. It's absolutely cooked when you start thinking like that. And I noticed that because I started thinking that. I was like, oh, I'm thinking stuff's going to go a little higher. Okay, a little means there's not much gas left in the tank. It means I'm trying to get that extra mile rather than just stopping at the gas station and getting gas before I continue on my trip. So ultimately, it's up to people how they want to look at this. But bull market, bear market, like it's not a difficult concept here, right?
The sentimental trap I always find, or like the mental trap I always catch myself in at every top, Will, is like I am allocated to X and Y. I might have some cash on the side and I can't figure out what to allocate to because I think everything is going higher in the short term, but I'm trying to figure out what's going higher, the most high or the highest in that same period of time. And I know that's, there's a difference between like feeling that at a bottom, I think, and feeling that at a distributive top, where if you're actually thinking in that mindset, you're chasing risk where the market's kind of already like used up all the fuel at that point already. So if you ever catch yourself, feeling like that, that to me has always been a pretty good signal of a top is, whether or not I'm basically just weighing the returns of everything left in the market that I could potentially put my money in. But I think everything is going higher. It's just a matter of what multiples, because that was the trap I fell into in May of 2021 specifically, right? Like I had some cash on the side. I was deep into beta. That was my first market cycle. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I could buy Link and maybe, catch a 200 or 300% here over the next few months, or I could maybe try to find some beta that was way better. And the problem I would find myself in is I couldn't find any beta actually worth investing in, even though I thought that all of these assets were probably going to go higher in the short term. None of that beta was actually any very good when I really boiled down to it. Like I just kind of wanted to own assets that I felt like were going to appreciate, even though the market had already used up all the fuel.
Guys, technical question. Is my mic alright? I keep hearing some people saying that there's some...
It's a little robotic.
Is it?
Oh, Mr. Roboto, but it's okay. I think people tend to not look at volume too, right? Like if we look here, like look at the volume here it took to flip this market back up, and people were bearish. Look at the volume, and people were bearish. How much volume is it taking to keep this market moving to the upside? I would say almost nothing, right? What does that tell you about the market? Does that tell you that this market is scared or that it's super, super hungry?
There are no more Bitcoin sellers, Will. You can say it.
There are
no
zero
more Bitcoin
sellers. Zero. I know people want to believe there are sellers. There aren't. Look at this. This is steady volume at significantly less amount of volume, right? Sellers are out. All your sellers have sold. And they sold a lot of Bitcoin. You can see it right here by volume. They sold a lot of Bitcoin in here. So now whales are up immensely. And some of you may be like, oh, they'll just distribute. I talked about this the other night, actually, like literally last night. And I pointed out these here. I'll point it out live here on the show because I think it's important for context. Like, you have to understand the context of what an MM is doing. An MM is doing at support and resistance, what they're doing at support and resistance, what they're doing again at support and resistance. And what they're doing is they're selling, MM selling here, and they're doing what here? They're buying. Like, you guys got to understand when an MM is providing support and when they're not, right? And MM is providing support because why? Because they're seeing that price can go higher. And within the price going higher, they're looking for what? They're looking for areas to MM distribution, right? MM distribution. So do you think price is going up here because retail is selling to MMs? No, price is going up here because market makers are selling to retail. Market maker knows retail wants to go higher. The market maker is like, okay, we're going to basically your market maker buy, distribute, right? Distribute and buy. So they're getting ready for the flip. They're getting ready for the flip. And then they flip the market. Boom, flip it. Now what do? Well, to get to here, they had to sell a lot of their Bitcoin. The market maker had to sell a lot of their Bitcoin to allow prices to come back up. Here, market maker's not selling Bitcoin. What are they doing, Tommy? What's the market maker doing here?
Accumulating.
Accumulate. A lot of people think they're selling on you. Who's selling Bitcoin here, Tommy? On this side.
That's
3AC and SBF.
Well, yeah, 3AC and SBF, but also retail. Retail is giving their Bitcoin away all the way down. Why? Because the MM's not providing support anymore. They're not providing a buying floor. They're just like, go ahead and distribute. We'll keep buying down because we think the market's way overvalued. They allow the market to reprice and revalue. And then once it starts to revalue and they figure, oh, price is undervalued. Oh, look at that. Jackus, what's the undervalued mark usually on RSI? What's the number we usually look for?
I look at sub 5.
Right in here, right? right at the 30. We're looking usually right at the 30. That's your undervalued mark.
I was just joking.
No, you're good. You're good. So that's where you start to see the flip because you create the bull div, right? You hit your 30, market maker's like, oh shit, time to flip this back up. We're undervalued. we're going to get them re-enticed. So then the market maker plays the low, right? Oh, look at this. Where was the bottom of our market, guys? Where was the bottom of our market here in 2017 on the RSI? Oh, funny. It was at the 30 again. Who could have foreseen?
Do you know what's funny, Will? When BTC actually reached that oversold level on the weekly, I was mentioning it publicly on Twitter, and no one was paying any attention to it. People that were paying attention, like they saw the tweet, they just refused it. Like they were saying, yes, but this time is different. This time we are going to retest 14K and 12K and so forth, and it's over. And look at the macro. Is all I heard, and I was like, but bruv, the weekly got oversold. Look what happened each time, right? Why would you fade it? No, this time is different. Macro, macro, macro. And here we are at new all-time highs.
It's always macro until it's not, right? It's always macro until it's not. Everybody wants the bottom tick. They don't want the bottom. Does that make sense? That's the confusing part for a lot of people. You got to get the bottom tick out of your head and understand when you're at the bottom. Buy the bottom. The bottom tick never mattered. What do you think about bottom ticking, Tommy? If you're trying to bottom tick the market.
Bottom ticking is the easiest way to grind your account down to absolutely nothing, or trying to do it. Same with top ticking. It's like people want to get that perfect entry, and what ends up happening is you're just taking a trade against momentum and asking to get wrecked when you can just wait to position. We were just touching on this with the complacency shoulder in Bitcoin. If you want to short Bitcoin, or at least if you wanted to in 2017, you could have been trying to top tick a parabola countless times, and only for the complacency shoulder that you got, I think near like 17 or 18K, that would have been the one to take. And you could have just been patient, waited for high time frame market structure to break or show weakness. And yeah, I like the entry. Usually the entry romanticizing is very much done by like the P&L boys, the guys who have those like insane leverage, on their trades. But it's much higher effective value to look for the time, like more
Range.
Opportunity cost in your timing, rather than trying to just top or bottom ticket.
Dude,
I always feel like the range is a little more important.
Yeah,
Guys, by the way, to the technical side of things with the mic, I think it's not due to the headset, it's rather due to the connection. Because I'm creating a hotspot for my phone on my laptop right now, so I think it's due to that. Otherwise, I cannot explain, because I was using the same headset just a few weeks ago, and it was normal. So
I don't know. I think your government's trying to suppress you.
yeah.
The market makers are.
Oh, my.
They do not want this alpha to be spilled on the dump retail. They want their dump retail to keep selling the lows and buying the highs. They don't want this alpha to be shared all day long.
So, real quick, if you can get the chart back there, Mister, I'm going to watch the chart go vertical on the 1 hour.
Bro, what are you talking about? The 30-second, brother?
Oh wow, that's somebody's bidding.
That's a parabola.
Somebody is twapping this.
That's a twop right
up.
there.
Look at that.
Let me see it for one more second, just to
From
finish.
69 to this is what happened. This is what I know. I'll give it to you. This is what happened. They saw Hagrid down here, and they said, "Let's get him." They said, "Let's go get him. Let's go nuke him, and then we'll just twop it."
We're taking out a 75x, and then we're gonna push the market.
Study the 75x punt on a Sunday night. All right, back to you, Will.
So there's been many distribution and accumulation ranges in the market. A lot of people they're absolutely wrong on distribute. It was like, oh, they're distributing to you. Oh, no shit, they are. It's called a range. They distribute the top, they accumulate the bottom. This is how they shake people out of the range. Of course, it's distribution at the top. Of course, it's accumulation at the bottom. But being able to identify support and resistance allows you to know where they're accumulating and where they're distributing, right? This is distribution, aka they force price down into their range. They start buying the floor. You continue to sell and sell and sell and sell and sell into them because your favorite TA guy is telling you that price is going to come and retest this this imbalance way down here, right? That's what they're telling you. They're like, oh yeah, guys, we're going back to like 20K. We're going to retest this imbalance here, and that's what's going to happen. So everybody, go ahead and wait for this to happen before you buy. Well, guess what? Mr. Market Maker has got a buy wall set up, buying all your positions. That's not going to allow price to get down there. You're going to wick every once in a while, right? But they're not going to let price touch your target. Your perfect retest is not going to happen because the market maker has formed the range here. They formed the high and they formed the low. What they're doing here is they're distributing and accumulating. Why are they doing this? Because they don't have as much token as they had here. And to continue market making a coin, you have to create ranges so you can reaccumulate. As you go higher, you distribute, and then you reaccumulate, and then you go higher and you distribute, and then you reaccumulate, and then you find the area of overvalue, and you stop providing support ranges. From there, you drop to a massive range, and then catch a support where they're accumulating, and then you drop into another range. And this is where the MM's buying all your crypto.
Guys, let me know if the mic is better now.
It's way better.
Yes.
I'm using yeah. All right, that's good. Guys, I'm still not trusting any move up here on BTC until we break the 71.5. That to me has been a major level since since like the beginning of May. So we have to flip that one. Any lower time frame move here is unimportant.
I'd say almost, Jackus, that you maybe have to hit somewhere around 75K to 80K to be able to flip 72 as support. And then if you can flip 72 as support, now you form a new range, and now you're not going to range up here for long. You're probably going to take off from there.
Yeah, I think that the moment we flip 72K, we're just going to go straight up, man. But wait until it happens. Yeah, you have to. Do not get excited here on like H1.
Can't long it. Can't do any of that.
You know.
Excited. I'm excited.
No, but it's really simple. MM's accumulating / buying here, distributing here to create the range so they can continue to buy up as much crypto as they need before they can distribute again to the next range. Doing the same thing here. They had such an excited market they couldn't sit here for very long. So the less the distribution, the more the distribution at the next range. This is why I said when we were like over here, I was like, we're probably going to range for like 2 to 3 months because they need to reaccumulate up here. They need to regain their positions of crypto so they can push prices higher and reevaluate the price range. Now, many of you may be like, well, it's overpriced. No, it needs to hit its target. There's an easy average in here, right? And we could say, hey, it's close to that average. But I would argue it's more like this. This is what I think is occurring right now with this. And then we'll kick it over and you guys can kind of cover your thoughts on this. But this is what I think it is. I think it's more of an angle play here. And you have a lot higher to go. A lot higher to go on strength.
Maybe go on the index. Go on the index, Will, with the RSI. You'll get more history on the one.
Yeah, do BLX. Or you can do the Coinbase chart too. Oh yeah, that works.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, I already had a lot of it drawn
Clean
out.
it up, Will.
Go. Will, type BTC USD and go for the index. Maybe you have that one clean.
So BTC USD.
Yeah, the Coinbase or the Bitstamp.
The index one.
There's
When it says index.
This one?
No, the index. It's the third one. No, you
Oh,
already
third
had
one?
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right here. Okay. So new price scale.
New pain.
New pain.
New pain.
Yeah, but no. You
Yeah,
don't do
Lord.
it. Sorry, you don't do it on new pain. You just type it in like instead of
Yeah, I was gonna
BLX.
say I just do a new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just duplicate tab. come over here and do BTC USD.
Yeah, exactly. And here you can connect the weekly ones too.
Yeah, strength is very important in my perspective. I think strength is the ideal thing to always be paying attention to. But you can see right there, you got, in my perspective, I think you're gonna move back up. You've been shifting down for a long time here, and you've reached such a point of undervalue that you should technically start reaching new highs and start like let me give some perspective here. Like, you should be going from this downtrend to start uptrending on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's going to start continuing as far as strength goes on the overall market. So that's what I think is going to occur here. I think this is probably the last cycle of downtrend undervalue, and eventually we're going to really start trending up to the highs. But if we were to look at this from even this perspective and look at 2021, which you can see right here, you've had an uptrend since then. You've got quite a bit to go from where we are right now to hit that.
I think even more telling, Will, is the monthly RSI. And maybe if you double click the RSI settings, double click the RSI, you can get rid of the moving average there, because that one is shit.
Yeah, I don't know why they put that shit on there. Settings. Where's it at in here?
No. You double click the RSI. Yeah. And then you just the second one, RSI based EMA. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, so as you can see right here, and the monthly was kind of my biggest time frame, but you got a lot of room here, right? And this is something I pointed out a while ago, but people make fun of me on the monthly, so I've been using the weekly and daily, so people don't make fun of me even though it's high time frames. And you have a ton of room. You have a ton of room to move to the upside here. So looking at that perspective, it's kind of the same thing. Like, really, you could almost, Jackus, on this one, on the monthly time frame, you could draw a channel on here. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
Like, you could literally draw a channel, and you could play the whole market on that channel. Like, it's actually mind-boggling how precise Bitcoin has been over time.
Yeah. And if you're gonna pull out the chart as well, the monthly chart alongside to it just put just double click.
No, I will. I just want to do something for the audience, right?
All right.
We're not looking at any charting, guys. We're not looking at any charting, right? We're looking at, certain, we'll say, points in the chart. So let's do that. So let's grab this one, and this one, and we'll label them yellow. So we haven't seen the chart at all. We're just marking the tops of the RSI and the bottoms of the RSI.
Yeah, we need to do that security class, boys.
Look at that. Funny how that plays out, right? What did it mark here?
Param coins at all-time highs.
Mark the bottom, right? What did it mark here? It marked the top of the first move, didn't mark the second. This was a little bit of a different one because you had the double top, so technically we should have marked both of these. What did it mark here? Pretty much marked the top. We were just like a tad bit off. We probably should have scooted over just like one more right before it dropped down. What did it mark here? Mark the bottom. Mark the top. Mark the bottom.
Top.
We haven't hit the top yet. Got a lot higher to go.
Top next.
Lot higher.
Dude, I look at all of the high time frame RSIs on like weekly and up, and they look insanely bullish, man. Insanely bullish.
Yeah.
Okay, this needs to be studied because I told Max. I told him.
He loves just pointing this out every show.
Bro, I told him, I said, when we hit this line, it'll be a local top. All right. This was 73K. All right. This was literally the Schmiko top. Okay, let me add it on new pane. All right, look at this. Look at this shit, guys. You guys are gonna freak out. Like if you had just, I should have done this. I literally should have done it. You just sold everything right here. You would have sold 73K, and you just wait until you like maybe come back and break this line. Like you avoid all of this garbage. Like, dude, that was the move. It was the move, and I will not relent. Okay, USDT on non-log is alpha. It is alpha.
Yeah. I was calling for the 4.05% as well when we are trading at 6%.
Yeah.
But from now, I am calling a future move, and that's the breakdown of this level. Exactly.
Tucker, can you switch the screen back real quick?
I can.
This is Tucker.
Oh, no.
We got him.
We got him.
What do you mean by that?
We got him.
I love Drewski, man. I love Drewski.
Dude.
Oh man, Tucker, every day we got him.
We got him. Every day.
What do you mean by that?
Log enjoyers, man. They can't be reasoned with, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, but like again, we blindly put marks on the chart based off the RSI, and we caught almost every bottom and every top.
Yeah.
Just think about that for a second in your head. And people are saying the market stopped. The market stopped. Show me on the RSI where the market stopped.
Dude, Mahmoud Mahir. I don't know what NPC is, and I'm not gonna look.
Much higher. much
I don't know what.
Didn't we look at it last week though, and it looked good?
Oh, man, did it?
I think so.
Hold up. Okay, yeah, it's literally just straight up in a straight line, but I mean,
Probably because these streams.
yeah, dude, somebody's clipping out 50 bands at a time. Yeah, this is not probably top. Wait, it's 186 mil market cap, bro.
Tucker, you want to see some alpha with ETH?
Is it on base too? What? Yeah.
All right, here I'm gonna show you guys something. This is raw. Okay.
Base too.
Study ascending wedges. Study them. Study them.
Study
That's it.
I was,
Wow.
You know what ETH looks a lot like actually when I was looking at the charts over the weekend was ETH looks like the Russell, man, or the Russell looks like ETH back in like the beginning of 2024. I want to get y'all's thoughts on what you think about that. The Russell actually being where ETH was at the start of the year. The patterns are not exactly the same, right? Because we're talking about an index versus crypto, but I see quite a few similarities when we're talking about, the IWM is trying to break out from a high time frame accumulation range. It's painting, this ugly, slow grind above the range in the same way that ETH did above, I think it was 2,000, 2,100 in that vicinity. So I do think there are a lot of structural similarities between something like the Russell and something like ETH.
Yeah, I think as far as Russell goes, I could see that. I haven't really looked at the two side by side, but with what the Russell represents and what ETH represents in the space, I'd say they almost represent the same thing as far as risk on, right, or heavy risk on to be playing in either one of those markets. And in those scenarios, I could definitely see that. It's really interesting to me how people didn't get the memo when ETH showed more strength than Bitcoin at the lows, that risk was about to get extreme, right? Like really extreme. And that's what I said in September when I brought it up. And I was like, I'm going to be really dumpster diving, like literally just finding the top tier garbage of garbage when it comes to dumpsters.
Uh-huh.
And I was like looking through them, finding pieces of watermelon that were still not quite gone bad yet. All that good stuff. Half-eaten hamburgers, not quite hard yet. McDonald's style. Just add a little water, they moisturize. Like you got to understand when you've got gold, right? And we had some gold, and I think just not enough people understood what that meant until now. And now everybody's playing in the same pool. And so it's like, okay, now we've got all this exit liquidity at the end of the day. I think shifting into the upper tier of the market, that will probably shift because everybody's playing on the same side of the playground, which I think will continue for quite some time. But I think that's where utility will play a little bit more at the top.
Wait, have you guys been on Magic Eden? You can use TradingView on like Bitcoin puppet charts right now. Like a
On
trade.
Magic Eden, or what do you mean?
Go to Magic Eden, go to the puppets, and you can
The analytics charts, like the price chart.
You click chart, and then you can turn on the trading view.
Yo,
They added a trading view option.
Insane, dude. And
wow,
puppets,
man, cool. So overdue.
Puppets look fantastic. All right, they look phenomenal. So
had to be said. It had to be said.
It had to be said. Yeah, I will absolutely talk about puppet. Yeah,
didn't
I
they
like
say
that.
they're getting?
I like that comparison you have, Will, for ETH.
Oh, these two?
Yeah, those look literally the same.
Yeah, this is why I was, because people always like, oh, you can't violate. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can always violate. It just, does the pattern match up, right? Did you have the build long into the flat top? And yes, you did. 100% you did. You had, that's a clear resistance and a clear break into resistance and then breakout, which was eventually going to play to the upside. And I think a lot of people just didn't acknowledge that, and this will go a lot higher because of this pattern. Like, this is a very bullish pattern. This is a clear bottoming pattern. Like, look at this and then look at Bitcoin, right, at the lows. They structurally don't even match. Like, Bitcoin's over here struggling to come back up, and Ethereum's just over here like in just straight Chad mode when it comes to lows. It's just holding the structure the whole way. Right here, Ethereum deviated Bitcoin. A lot of people don't even realize that. Like, if you were to put these two over top of each other and you were to do like a Bitcoin chart down here, not a Cardano chart because those people are going to be massively broke in a couple of years. But if we were to look at Bitcoin in that same positioning here, so let's put it here. What do we got here? Weekly. And we're going to look at the lows here. Bitcoin veered down. God, I hate how it does this stupid thing where it wants to like pick its own stick spot. They need a way to turn that shit off. Bitcoin veered down in this same range here, right here. And what did Ethereum do? Ethereum veered up. Telling you heavy risk. Right? Nothing but risk. Don't touch anything that's not risky.
Nothing but risk.
You see what it told me? Like, look, boom and boom. Deviation, bro.
Deviation, bro.
What are you cooking on, Tucker?
I'm looking at KeyCat still.
He's like, how do I get out of this?
Looking at his bags.
I'm looking at my base shitters, bro.
He's like, I need an out for this. Anybody?
I need this. I need us to hold the line here. I'll tell you what. I need to hold the line.
Hey,
Just need to.
I like what you drew earlier on it, Jackus.
Don't do it.
Tommy.
Or maybe do. Shill our backs.
I need the thumbs up and the thumbs down. Can we bring up the dog?
What dog?
What's up, dog?
Oh my god. Yeah, I actually can because it looks insane. Yeah, KeyCat back test, falling wedge into support. What else? What are we talking about? Up dog. Yeah.
Study parabola.
Study vertical accumulation, boys. Jeez.
Yeah, this one's about to run multiples, probably.
This is about to bust.
In the making.
If you could draw a fixed range on that, Tucker.
On the whole lifetime?
The whole thing, I'm curious. I haven't even done it myself.
I don't want to do it.
I bet we're retesting. Oh my god. That looks good. Okay, what
it's
if you
bullish, bro? It's
that
bullish.
huge
We
range?
destroyed the fixed range.
It's
I
But if
done.
mean,
you don't include the huge wick,
Yeah. Where's the?
yeah,
We're giving you guys alpha right now, by the way. We're giving you
Yeah.
alpha. The breakout hasn't even occurred yet.
Let me put some volume on this chart, though.
man. I mean, honestly, you could just do it on the vertical accumulation because it seems like that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, like we can't really find an unfavorable fixed range on this bad boy, but
look
yeah,
at
this
that,
thing could rip, man. This thing's
dude.
gonna rip.
What are we talking about? Stupid.
Study parabola soon.
You want me to draw some fibs because that would be an insane 1618.
Yeah, I do want to see some fibs, man. I've been looking at the fibs. Trust.
I mean,
They playing along. I like it.
Tell me this is an alpha.
yeah, this is stupid alpha. Yeah.
There is a base shit coin called Top G that went to like $400 million overnight.
I thought it was
have
sold.
no idea if it's legit. No, there's one on base, and it went
Really?
there. It went there basically overnight. I had no idea if it's real or a honeypot, but
This one. Okay.
I mean, what are we even talking about? That's all I'm trying to figure out. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, because I mean, you got a 2.5x to there. You got a 6.5x to there. I mean, yeah. You want to be conservative. This is T1. This is T2. I mean, easy. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Building the levels too. Nobody's gonna believe it until it happens. This happens every time with anything that I call or anything that Tommy calls. Nobody believes it until it's absolute God candle mode, and then they're like, "Where's the entry?"
Oh,
And
I
it's like,
believe.
wow.
I know, Jackus, you believe too, don't you?
I do believe.
Yes, we all believe. We're all on the same page on this one. We are.
I will say I still don't think you're ever gonna see another dog coin go from like sub 100 million to $1 billion. Like that might not ever happen again, which might be kind of bold to say. I don't know what that Bybit shitcoin is that high stakes capital is pushing. I don't know what the market cap is on that, but like I just think there's so many dog coins already that the idea of another dog coin going to $1 billion from below 100 million is kind of difficult for me to fathom, but maybe it happens. Maybe it happens. I don't think Updog's going to $1 billion, but that doesn't mean it can't go much higher. USA is an interesting one though, Tucker, because I think our friend is actually that might be it.
I feel like that's it. It's on Radium, so I was like, that's probably it.
This is the one where people are like, "Oh yeah, Patriots are in control."
Yeah, this has got to be it, man. This has got to be it. What is this a Trump coin or what?
I think it's just USA coin, literally USA coin.
And what's it at?
There's a lot of
77?
Yeah, no, it's actually a decent market cap. It's been a good coin actually.
Bro, might have to shove. The USA, I mean, how can you not buy that? Like, what are we talking about? Jack,
it's
you should
so
buy it.
hard to depict
Jack, you
USA.
should buy it.
I should buy USA.
Yes.
Sure, no problem.
So
Oh, there's
before-
one on base,
to
though.
buy the
Hold
whole
on.
country.
Hagrid, before any more alpha, what's the like button look like?
Oh, that's a good question.
Please don't tell me you had to do this morning.
179 with my most recent like.
Why can't we just look, just 21 more likes? We just gave you guys alpha, a lot of it. I know there's more than that talking or watching or enjoying. Just 21 more likes. That's all we ask. Just 21 more likes.
There were no soybeans today.
True.
So JJ keeps asking about Hex. So we're gonna entertain JJ. What's going on with Hex? Because to me it looks like a shit show.
Hex?
Yeah. Hex. He's asking about Hex and Pulsar on the chart. on the chart, right? You're literally at your last support line.
Is it even on? Is this it, or is this not it?
Yeah,
Is it?
That's it.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
You said, "Are you sure?"
Because
I mean, it just keeps getting worse the more you.
I know it's getting worse. It's the no. We're just gonna go with this one.
All right, what's your thoughts here?
Oh my god! All right. Is this confirmed? This is what we're talking about. It is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done, bruv. It's done.
Do we have like volume or aren't? Let's look at strength and volume because this thing looks dead.
Jack said, bro. Oh wait, this isn't. We need a.
No shade to hexagons. I know you guys have been holding on for years, but Jesus, like this is a coin. I don't even know if I could love it, man.
He is shaming you.
Yes. Hang on,
It
I need
is
to get a
bad.
non-exchange. There we go. No, it's cut. I don't even. There's not. It's done. Let it go. Whoever's.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I mean, if you just bought the lows, I guess there's a Vegas type gambling scenario there. But if you've been holding this the whole time, I don't know that you ever get out of this.
Yeah.
What
There's probably a lot of dilution too, huh?
Well, you're getting unlocks on unlocks on unlocks. It's like people are unlocking hex from 2021 that locked for years. So it's like how can you fight that volume?
Dude, the bio for American coin is raw. What the fuck is a kilometer?
Bro, who said they bought Richard Hart a Gucci shirt?
Yeah.
I love that. I did see a tweet about Richard Hart over the weekend. It was like, Richard Hart is proof that no matter how much money you have, you can't buy Riz.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah,
I can't believe I just said Riz unironically. I'm a Zoomer now, guys. I'm a Zoomer.
You are.
Guys, like I'll be real. Like no. Okay, some bashing, but I'll try to be light.
Some bashing.
This coin does not look good. And I'm picking up half-eaten hamburgers that are partially hard that I have to wetten with the hose water to be able to finish eating it. So, like, if it's beyond that point, it's bad. And this thing looks bad.
Yeah, if Will doesn't want it, it's cooked, guys. It's cooked.
Like, hold up, pull up Pole C though, real quick for him, and then we'll get back to Up Dog. Just to entertain that conversation. I haven't looked at Pole C, so I don't know. I mean, that looks a little more hopeful. Maybe a round bottom, right?
No, this looks way better than Hex for sure.
Yeah, it looks a little more hopeful. You got to get back above that range though. You're a little bit below resistance.
Yeah,
but this definitely looks better than Hex. Way better.
Yeah, this is just one where it's like, yeah, you can probably get a pump, but it's like, people are like, oh my god, it's this far from all-time highs. Like, you think they didn't just dilute the fuck out of the supply since 2021? For sure they did. They must have. So it's like, yeah, you can get a pump. You can probably pump back up to like here.
No. Pole. Yeah. I would
like
think
people like look at it and they're like, oh, look at all-time highs. That's an easy like, oh, it's 60. What a steal. It's 29,000% below.
Tucker, I swear to you, 1,000% that people do this. Like, they always look at the most oversold shitcoin ever with like FDV at 500 trillion, and they will look at it and say, look at all-time highs. It's coming up there. It's 1 billion, 400 trillion, 300 million percentages. I'm gonna become a billionaire if I put in $100. And you can see even on YouTube so many videos on this, man. It's crazy.
But here's the thing with this one though. At least it has something. right? Hex absolutely looks like it's going to hell. Like it looks like it has no chance at all of ever coming back. Like this at least has a round bottom, which you can at least work with. Like Hex, I can't find a single place where you can look and be like, this is where you can start dialing in.
Yeah, guys, can you actually show me a ticker that's uptrending against Bitcoin for a few years now?
Yeah, I mean,
Many. BNB is one of them.
BNB is one of them, exactly.
Tosh, that may be the case, and it may be held on the other side, the pulse chain side. I don't know, so I haven't looked into pulse chain, but I would say this: like on the east side, it looks cooked. On the east side.
Thought Kaspa isn't uptrending against Bitcoin for a multiple cycle. It's this cycle coin, but will we see it uptrend the next cycle? Like, it's not a problem to find a coin that's uptrending against Bitcoin in its current cycle, right? You'll always find some. But do you find a coin? I mean, Fetch was. I think Fetch is uptrending for a second cycle against Bitcoin right now. But will it survive into the next one? That's a question.
It's an important question because most of these, you're right, Jackus, they don't. Altcoins love to trick people into thinking that they are anything other than beta to Bitcoin when that's, I mean, as history has shown us, it's inherently false. Like there is only one second best, and it's ETH. And even ETH hasn't made a new high against Bitcoin in like 5 or 6 years. So, well,
yeah, but at least that said, Tommy, at least is BTC. Like, sure, it hasn't bumped or broke the 2017 high yet, but it is uptrending since the listing. It is uptrending since 2019. And that, in my opinion, is an accomplishment on its own, right? Mm-hmm. And I do think that we are going to see a new cycle high. We'll see if like we ever flip the all-time highs from 2017. But like it is kind of holding pretty well, I would say, right? Then you get again Fetch against BTC. That's a rarity. It's trending up since April 2020. It's making new highs. Question is, will it sustain them, or was this it? Right? Like, did it just ride the AI hype and now it's over? We'll see. But Doge has kind of been doing well, although Doge is mainly like do nothing for years and then have a crazy pump. But yeah, Doge has outperformed BTC. Not that many coins out there. Maybe ETH, but ETH is kind of ETH to me is it's been out there for a while, outperforming. It's definitely outperformed since 2019, but since last cycle, it's struggling big time now. So we'll see if it can come back and do something.
Oh my God.
Somebody asked about it, Tommy. I didn't just bring this up.
Big time rug.
Big time, bro.
Big time rug, man.
Classic,
this is a VC scam.
Yeah, it is big time.
Probably worth paying attention to whenever gaming is going to get cranking again, but no idea when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Study never.
Study never. Oh God. I mean, if we talked about Updog, I mean, what are the standards here now for market cap? It must be about 4 million. So,
I mean, Updog has a liquid exchange market. That's the.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's on MEXC. It has like actual market makers.
Okay, so anything that's on MEXC, we're good to go.
Look, all I'm saying is Updog is going up. People can hate all they want.
I was just checking our standards here. because
into
the weeds.
It's in the name. It legit says up.
Up. Study up, and then study up.
Study up. Man, These are really crazy times.
Yes, they are.
Bro, I remember the dog in me running. I'm not fading that dad joke thingy.
Oh, no.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh,
Up
dear.
dog to the freaking moon.
It's over,
Like,
guys.
When people start telling me dog in me, I'm like, everybody knows that. I'm like, why would anybody go for that? And then what did the dog in me do, Tommy? You tell me what the dog in me did.
Man, I don't even want to talk about that one.
Why?
Tell me what it did.
I
really
fumbled
don't know.
like I literally fumbled a nice car on $100
Wow.
investment on dog and me.
Tommy.
A nice car. It's a nice car, bro. Oh man.
I was like, this is the dumbest meme ever. Why did I put any money in this? I had like $125 in it when it was worth absolutely nothing. And then a few weeks later, I see that it's pumping, and that, I mean, the big reason it's probably pumping is because Anson filled a bag and was tweeting about it. But, you know, I could have been holding the bag for that. I could have sold into it. Oh, man. I didn't have that dog in me, though.
No, you didn't, Tommy. Don't even talk to me about PopCat, bro.
Oh man. Ryan says he doesn't like the Freddy Cougar shirt. What's going on?
The what?
The Freddy Cougar shirt.
This?
Oh, this.
Oh, that is a Freddy Krueger shirt. That is big time. Are you have the copium background, Will? Jeez. That's good.
Oh man, the state of the market, the state of bears right now. All right.
The state of bears literally calling for the downfall of the U.S. dollar as the reserve currency to justify a multi-week bearish thesis.
Dude, unreal.
Next level.
Literally unreal.
Study desperation.
Swept the highs.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jackus. Jackus has a good point there. He said study desperation.
Yeah.
Oh, breakout. See ya. Down here. Study the bull trap on Dixie. Study this. All right, I gotta run. I gotta hop on a call.
Is it? All right, Tucker. See ya. AZTV he says, how many people got bullish when BTC just crossed 70K? That's exactly what I was saying live. That like, do not get
me.
Do not get excited on. do not get excited on these lower time frame moves upward, because we can still go lower, and until we break the 71.5K resistance, or like 72, right? You can just round it to 72. But until we break that, all these lower time frame moves essentially do not matter until we head to FOMC. And I still think that, as I was saying on the Friday show, right? We saw DXY pumping hard. We saw us being at resistance. We saw influencers getting a little bit euphoric. Lots of OI ramping up into that resistance. I still am a bit skeptical. Locally, I think higher time frame wise, nothing has changed, and we will be sending way higher in the coming months.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. I mean, I'm not. I don't know if I have necessarily quite the same lower time frame biases as you and Will at the moment, but I think we're all on the same page in regards to, you know, the dollar is kind of. It's not a surprise to see these type of shenanigans around such an important low for the dollar at 104. And unsurprisingly, given the correlation that Bitcoin has, you know, here at all-time highs, there's a lot of contextual significance to this level for a lot of different assets right now. And if they're going to flip them, then obviously, you know, we know what's going to happen. If they reject them, we know what's going to happen. So, we like to boil the market down to inflection points, man. It makes things a little bit easier in this complex game we call markets. But that's a good spot for us to wrap things up, guys. We've been going for about an hour and 25 minutes. Before we finish up, as always, a few housekeeping notes for you all. A reminder that we have launched our brand new hedge fund, BB Wealth Management. We are so excited to finally be able to launch this, as it's something it's literally been in the works since we started, because Bitcoin literally a year and a half ago. So beyond excited, not just that we can have it up and running, but also that we can potentially offer it to you as well, the audience, if it's something that you're interested in. We have more details linked in the description below. Just shoot us an email, see if you qualify as a LP, as an accredited investor, et cetera, et cetera. But just a general overview of the fund, guys. We are a long short hedge fund run by the BB team. Of course, it involves trading and investing in digital assets. We utilize our experience and skills in these markets to navigate them in a way that takes into account both crypto's historic propensity for upside, as well as the investment risks posed in any market. So like I said, if that is something that interests you, we do have more information linked in the description below this video. Just shoot us an email. Will, I think you're off mute, brother. But just shoot us an email. We will send you guys any details that you might need. Of course, as well, don't forget the BB Academy, which did just jump up in price to reflect our view on where we think the market's headed over the next few weeks and months. It is now $4.99, whereas before it was $1.99. It is now fairly priced. But if it's still something that interests you guys, and it should, because I mean, like it really is phenomenal value, given that you get educational tidbits from everybody on the team, and obviously all of the different niches that we, because we all trade markets very differently. I like that about this team. So if you want little tidbits from each and every one of us, it's a great way to learn. I definitely recommend the course for that. So make sure to check that out. It's also linked in the description below if that's something that interests you. And then, of course, our programming, guys. If you enjoyed Market Check, you want to come back for another episode, or maybe you are a regular at this point. Hopefully, either one, right? But we do have quite a few regulars here at this point, which is really cool to see. But we will be back at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We are live Monday through Friday, every single weekday, bringing you guys charts, technicals, analysis, audience attacking, and much, much more, depending on what type of mood we're in on the given day. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed that. Of course, not to forget King Wabi with Market Talk. That is a Twitter space hosted by the one and only Wabi himself. He does a great job over there. The conversations always take on a lot of flavor depending on who the speakers are, right? So can talk meme coins, macro, everything in between. Make sure to check out those things as well. Of course, if you enjoy our YouTube content as well, make sure to check out our channel if this is your first time. We've got some great content that we put out here weekly. So yeah, guys, that's it from us. This is a good spot to wrap up. Like I said, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your afternoon, and a fantastic rest of your week. As always, guys, make sure to stay safe, because these markets, it's going to be a pretty volatile week. Let's be honest. Like, we got a lot of macro data. Bitcoin's at an inflection point. The dollar's at an inflection point. Stocks are stocks are at all-time highs. So if they're going higher, it's price discovery can also inherently be judged as an inflection point. But looking forward to all of it, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And that is all from us.